Hello ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for clicking on another one of my videos. I am Screen Scene Guru, coming at you with a full book review and some movie scoops to cover. So starting off, I've got the Timothy Zahn Heir to the Empire novel to review. I really enjoyed this book, guys. I picked this up, I believe, last year, but I haven't gotten around to reading it until the last 2 weeks because I recently finished Andor, and then I picked this up off my shelf and I just didn't set it down. If you've seen my previous videos, I have been covering some of the story in it, but I've just recently got done with the 32 chapter novel, so I thought it was really awesome. Picks up right after the events of Return of the Jedi, which is really cool. We follow Luke, Leia, and Han being chased around the galaxy by remnants of the Empire. They're trying to acquire Leia's children. She's pregnant with twins currently, and they go throughout the book trying to put her in a safe house on Kashyyyk, which I thought that was very interesting. Chewie goes with her, Chewbacca. And then, of course, we see Han Solo team up with Calrissian, Lando, and then eventually they go after Luke, who was captured and taken to this planet where he was not able to use the Force. They have a certain magnetic field around these trees that prevented him from connecting to the Force, so he was kind of at odds or disadvantaged during this mission with Mara Jade. We got the introduction of Mara Jade. She explains kind of how she was living in luxury during a time being the hand of the Emperor, until, of course, Luke brought the Empire crashing down, and then she had to resort to smuggling and all kinds of things to make ends meet. So her kind of mission in life now is to take down Luke, but of course they have to work together to escape the Imperial's grasp. So I thought this was a really cool watch, or read, should I say. I kind of hope they're going to adapt this story for the Mandalorian movie, at least parts of it. I know, because Thrawn being the main villain, I'm interested to see how they're going to adapt some of the actions of some of the other characters like Captain Pelion. Will that be a major play? Because the actor, I'm sure, is probably old. I'm not sure exactly who the actor was for Pelion, but I know he's been in animation stories before. But going on to, I've got a couple of comic book reviews. So starting off with X-Men. This was, let's see, I'll try to come up with the title for it. Birds of a Feather. And this was following, I don't know how well you guys can see the title right there, but Birds of a Feather. This was Scott's grandfather, who was going blind, took a plane up in Alaska and unfortunately crashed his plane. Luckily enough, we had a stranger nearby who was able to rescue Scott's grandfather. This stranger happened to be an alien, which that was very interesting to see. The X-Men and aliens have a very close history, connected to each other. We got to see a bit of Legion, which I thought was really cool. So Legion returned, Charles Xavier's son. If you guys watched the Legion TV series, let me know down in the comments down below. We also got to see the Hellfire Club, kind of coming back from the edge of obscurity, especially with some of their members dying off. Then, of course, we saw Scott and Jean rush to the hospital to make sure their grandfather was okay. Jean psychically shared memories between Adam and Scott's grandfather so that he could see through his eyes all the places he had been, the sights he had seen. because of course Scott's grandfather was losing his sight. And then of course we saw right at the end someone appears to be watching them through a monitor screen, which most likely would be Sinister or someone like that. So a really good read for this Birds of Prey X-Men comic. I really liked it a lot. And then going into another book that I've done a review on before. I just want to show off some of the imagery on it. This is the Vanity Fair Star Wars The Rebellion Will Be Televised, June 2022 edition. Really awesome cover. I have had this frame before, but I just wanted to whip it out to kind of show it off. This was, of course, advertising their old series, but I do just want to show off some of the imagery because I thought the art was pretty cool. Fold it back where I want it. Okay, right about here. I'll show off a bit of the art. For Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Here's a bit of art for the Cassian Andor and Mon Mothma and Obi-Wan as well. Very nice. Done up in her outfit for, I believe, season 2. So I like that. Showing off that. And then we've got the Mandalorian and Ahsoka. Very awesome. Very excited about The Mandalorian and Grogu and Ahsoka Season 2. I think that will be very good stories to focus on. And we also got a picture of all the creatives. So that's really awesome that they took a photo shot for them. I like that. I kind of wish Tony Gilroy was on there for Andor, but I'll take what I can get, you know. But going into another book review, we've got, let's see, Marauders, number 4. So really awesome cover with Storm on it. And I heard a lot of people are saying that they want Cynthia Erivo from Wicked to be our current Storm. Some people are saying she's a little old for the role. Some people want an actress in her 20s. Hearing that Cynthia Erivo is already in her 30s. But I think she has the pipes for doing it if Storm had a singing role, perhaps. But interesting story. We see there's an island. I don't believe it's Genosha, but they say at the beginning. Let's see. It's known as Karata. Karata is being invaded by humans that are trying to take it over from mutants. And we get the introduction of course, Storm in her black suit, which if you guys watch X-Men 97 on Disney+, there's a whole episode dedicated to her getting her black suit. It turned out to be a crow, a demon of sorts, that she turns into an outfit that she wears. I had no idea where the black suit came from before, but it's explained in an episode of X-Men 97. So that was cool. So we see Storm show up for a second and help out mutants. And then most of the comic is basically following Kitty Pryde and Bishop, actually. And she's trying to convince him again to join the Hellfire Club, which I thought that was very interesting. They're trying to rebrand as a corporation instead of a exclusive club. We also get to see kind of the ridiculousness of one of these people that were held up by their spouse. This guy believes that the mutants are sent by God to save him because Charles communicated to a lot of people in their mind. So there's religious zealots, churches being made that think mutants are great. And meanwhile, his wife is politically speaking against mutants, and has him locked away in a room pretending he's missing. And then, of course, they out him in front of everybody locally, and they're saying, oh, this stuff's nuts, basically. But I really liked the episode. Thought it was interesting coverage for Marauders. I didn't really know what the storyline was for them. Just a different type of X-Men adjacent, if you will, like X-Force, or like they have a list on the back. Marauders, Excalibur, New Mutants, X-Force, or the Fallen. So interesting, different teams. So that's cool. Going into movie scoops and news, we've got a few things. Recently, a TikToker, YouTuber, was kicked off of the Avengers Doomsday set in London. He had a camera on him, but we're hearing about how this guy was basically snuck on the set and took a bit of video or film. So we're not exactly sure what he got, but his content was, of course, taken down, and then his channel was scrubbed from the internet. So that was very interesting to hear. But just a few days ago, we saw pictures from the set of what looked to be life-size Sentinels from X-Men on the set of Avengers Doomsday, where they're currently filming on the Charles Mansion, the backyard. So that's really cool that they're going into making life-size Sentinels. Because before, I've always thought they were kind of cool to see in Days of Future Past, but they weren't quite big and purple, like they have in the comics. So this time, getting comic accurate Sentinels sounds like it's going to be a good time for Avengers Doomsday. So that's a few years out still. But Superman just dropped a new trailer. I did a coverage video on that. You guys can check that out in my previous videos. But one thing I do want to cover is Ironheart. They did drop a trailer for it. I have seen it. I might drop a link to it in the description below. I thought this was a really good trailer. They are going to do the Andor method of dropping 3 episodes at once and then waiting a week and dropping 3 more. So I think that will work very good for them. It might be a good binge model for a new live-action series. I haven't heard a lot of hype about the Ironheart series, besides it's being done by Ryan Coogler, who's done all of the Black Panther films, which I really like, and of course Sinners, that just recently came out in theaters. So that's really cool. So moving on from there, we've got the announcement of the Super Mario Bros. 2 title being called Super Mario World. So that's really cool. We've yet to get a release date on that, but the fact they're working on it makes me think that they were going to get Yoshi and a couple other characters that we didn't quite get enough of in the first film. So hopefully that'll be a thing. Going on, we've got some Spider-Man 4 announcements. Mr. Negative is rumored to be the villain in the film, kind of similar to the latest Spider-Man video game from Sony. So they might be going similar to that. I don't know if they'll show us anti-Venom like we got in the animated series, but it'll be cool if they go into some other symbiotes besides just Venom. Let's see, moving on, we've got Warner Brothers news. Warner Brothers and Netflix apparently are buying up Taylor Sheridan property from Paramount. We've seen this with Lioness Season 1 being bought from Paramount to Netflix, which is getting that a lot more viewership to an awareness to the channel, as well as the Yellowstone universe. Apparently they're getting ready to sell off some of their properties from Yellowstone because they're not getting enough money and traction. So that's interesting. We heard from the Blue Beetle actor that Blue Beetle, the animated series, is currently in development at DC. So they're currently working on a Blue Beetle animated show to follow up the movie, which is good because I really liked the 2024 Blue Beetle. I don't think I've done a review of it on my channel yet, but that's what I need to do. And then we've recently heard reports of Sadie Sink playing Mayday Parker in Spider-Man 4. So being confirmed to be Tobey Maguire's daughter, or his Spider-Man incarnation's daughter. It's going to be a multiverse story. I think that's really cool to hear. What are you guys' thoughts on the movie news? What do you guys think of these books I've been reading? Let me know down below. I want to thank you for clicking on one of my videos. Stay tuned for future updates and all kinds of good news on the channel. I'm definitely going to do some more reviews. But until next time, I want to say thank you guys, and I'll catch you in another video. Alrighty. Bye-bye.